So was it a tenant in your building, and you had to, like, instead of getting the rent, you went and took it over and got it going?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. The secrets of real estate.
Yeah, it was I was working out of other facilities. I started in Clinton and then North Brantford, and
On baseball training.
Yeah, and then I'm born in Waterbury, and my mom was.
Hi, Tom Hill here at Strike Zone Studios. Very nice to be back. Say hello to Bob the Builder.
Yeah, Bob Warner from Warner Construction and Consulting, and also the Strike Zone in Woolkit.
And we did about a dozen shows here, but you'll notice that we have a much more luxurious setting here at Strike Zone Studios, thanks to Jeff, our producer, and Bob the Builder. And right now, we're going to give you a show as a test for Ives Bank, because we've signed Ives Bank for 8 programs, and you're going to get a nice ride and an education in the next couple of months with all the different people that work at Ives Bank: lenders, managers, community relations officers, community investment officers, about what they're doing for the community as givebacks, and the Ives Bank's Foundation. So that should be a good, interesting time. And the people that work at Ives Bank are entertaining and really smart and community-minded. So this is the test there that Bob and I are going to start fiddling with cameras, microphones, and a little banter. So we're just talking about what we've been up to. I'm a commercial real estate broker out providing commercial real estate services for others, select brokerage and advisory. Bob's Bob the Builder, and he's out as a consulting, advising people. And you've had a job this week on the latest idea of people putting small additions on their houses to take their parents in. And those are ADUs. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that consulting you're doing?
Well, every municipality has different rules regarding this. They can have their own. And in this particular case, it was in Berlin, and the owner, the way it went, the owner first hired me to come over, meet his parents, look at the existing house, which his grandfather had built. Family, and kind of go over what they were interested in doing, size, and where it might be located, the addition, and so forth. And then from there, they hired me to go to the town, sit with zoning, and go over what the rules of Berlin were as to how we might be able to make that fit into what they were trying to accomplish.
And how welcoming was that official to see you, Bob?
They were great, actually. They were fantastic. The zoning official I met he was great. He was very informative, very helpful. We found maps on the property from 1954 and 1999, which gave all the survey setbacks, and there's a sewer easement up one side or a utility easement up one side, showed that. It was everything we needed to be on a map or maps.
Right, and so you're an unlicensed professional engineer, knowing all these different things about setbacks and surveys and maps and engineering and sewer lines. That must be very helpful to people, because if you brought an engineer in, they'd want to sign a 3-month contract with you to figure all this stuff out, no?
Well, they'd be working differently than I am, I'm sure. But, their rules, he had 45 feet from the left side of the building that's existing to the property line, and there's a 20-foot utility easement. So that doesn't mean you can't build in it, but you don't want to if you can help it. So it gave us 25 feet off the house to as a footprint for the addition without getting into that easement. So getting all that information was extremely helpful in knowing what parameters we might want to try to work under in terms of coming up with a footprint and a floor plan and so forth.
So these are additional dwelling units. You're reading about them all over the place. People don't want to put their parents in a convalescent home. They'd like, the way it used to work in the world is you took care of your parents.
Yeah.
And this is going to fit that need.
Yeah, and there's really, I try to tell people their home can be a evolving unit, in that, it might start out where you're, in his particular case, he's in the main house with his wife and kids. His parents might be in this additional space. At some point, years later, hopefully many years, they may pass, and he may end up being in it with his kids in the other side. So it has the ability to kind of transition depending upon owner and family and how they get along and everything
And
else.
you're taking it further. If they want you to build it, is that going to be something you're going to do?
Yeah, he happens to be an electrician, so he's got different contacts of his own. But the first thing is to get it. The second meeting was to go back and show him a floor plan and plans of the existing building and a design as to what we want to do, how big it was. It ended up being 25 by 34, and where it was, and see if there was any other concerns they had. And then with the building inspector going over, will he accept my drawings? Do we need to hire an architect? No, he will. And would he consider allowing us to do a frost-free foundation versus a traditional, because of the amount of ledge that might be over there? And he will. So
Lucky though, because all towns are different, and this is another thing. This is Bob the Builder, and if you want to see more about this, we've done some in-depth shows, an hour each, on permits and building and the construction industry, etc. So if you go on TomHillRadio.com, that's where we have most of this stuff posted, and you can get a lesson. But Bob has a lifetime of the permit process.
Today's episode is underwritten by Ives Bank.
We're back at the Ives Bank one-on-one finals between UConn's KK Arnold and Morgan Shelley. KK at the top, drives right, pulls up for a jumper, counted. She must have an account at Ives Bank because she can make a deposit from anywhere. Shelley with the ball, takes it to the hoop. She answers, just like Ives Bank mobile banking. Fast, secure access wherever you are. With Ives Bank, you're always in the game.
Yeah, we were talking about Bob having a lifetime in the permit business. Talk a little bit about 169 towns and different zoning everywhere and different people on different schedules in all these different towns when you have any kind of commercial, industrial, residential, or advisory type construction assignment.
Well, a lot of towns today, you do everything online, applications and whatnot. You lose that one-on-one. You get to know them, they get to know you. I make it a practice of scheduling an appointment, meet with them, introduce yourself, and so forth. And I just think it makes for a better relationship, and they get to understand who you are and what your experience may be a little bit of, and maybe a little bit more at ease as to who might be doing the project, etc.
And there's too much online. I'm reading from my coaches, industry books I'm reading, Wall Street Journal. Face-to-face on first or second meetings when you have a long-term project is come back in vogue, and it's very necessary. You're correct.
Yeah, we've had great. The two meetings I had with the town have been excellent. It doesn't guarantee you won't hit a glitch, but they've been great. And the next phase is to actually, I got to submit a report from the second meeting, which will include a quote for the third phase, which is design. And once the design is completed, submission for permits, and if everything goes right and it's permitted, that we know, okay, this is what we're going to build, pricing.
All right, so he just said, if everything goes right. How do you minimize the if everything goes right in your game?
Just, I think, doing what I'm doing, meeting with them first, making sure that I'm going to supply them with everything they might require or want on their own, and then when I go to resubmit, before I submit that permit app, I'll probably meet one more time, show them everything I've put together, make sure the package I'm going to submit is great to them, and then it's just filling out the application, include it all, and submit it.
So comprehensive.
Yeah.
All right, so we did, if you look back on TomHillRadio.com, we also did a very interesting show on Bob's other business, which is housed in this area, the Strike Zone Training Center. Bob's a baseball expert, and we had a couple of young kids. So you also balance out your cash flow within regard to having this baseball training center, which is a passion for you. Give us an update on Strike Zone Studios and your life as a baseball trainer.
Well, listen, I've been working with kids for, probably 25 years plus.
Easy. Yep.
Easy. And when it first came to the area, somebody else was running it, needed to take it over. And it's been kind of a passion. It's a nighttime thing. In most cases, you're working with people.
So was it a tenant in your building, and you had to, like, instead of getting the rent, you went and took it over and got it going?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. The secrets of real estate.
Yeah, it was I was working out of other facilities. I started in Clinton and then North Brantford, and
On baseball training.
Yeah, and then I'm born in Waterbury, and my mom was here, and so I got to the point where I needed to take care of them. So my office originally was in Brantford. Moving it up here to Wolcott allowed me to be close to take care of my parents and my mom and my stepfather, and I did that until 2019 when.
Now, I can add that Bob the Builder is a very compassionate man.
Yeah, it was. I would do it in a minute. I'd do it again in a minute.
All right, and before we wrap it up, because I'm getting a circle, and I'll be back in a minute, just tell us a little bit about where you see the banks these days for wanting to loan people money for these ADUs.
Oh, I think in his particular case, probably in most, it's a matter of how much equity do they have in their home that they can draw down on. These things are done in many different ways. Sometimes the parents may be willing to pay for it all. Other times it's a combination of the parents and the sibling that's living there, or the child that's living there. In some cases, it's the homeowner that's paying for it all. It can get kind of sticky depending upon whether they have other kids or not. Because the reality of it is, if the parent's paying for this work and they should pass, well, it's that, say, first son's property now.
So one of these Ives bankers will have to be helping us with an estate plan in a future episode. All right, I'm told that you have baseball training at Strike Zone Studios, and we have to let you go. So really nice to see you.
Thanks
you,
for
Tommy. Visiting us
Thank
at
you
Strike
very
Zone
much,
Studios.
and we'll discuss it more. This is an evolving event.
It is. Adios, Bob the Builder.
All right, thank you.